All right, good morning. We're back on another upgrade adventure here in the Grand Design camper. When we used to go to Assateague Island all the time, we had the hybrid camper with the three sides that opened up for beds and, had the tent sides, let a lot of air flow through. But occasionally, it would still get pretty hot. And we had a 13,500 BTU air conditioner in that. And we tried to start it off the generator once, and it really strained the Honda. So I had thought about putting in one of those Easy Starts. Well, we ended up selling that, upgrading here to the Grand Design hard-sided camper, which has been fantastic for us. We've taken it all over the country. And now we're about to go back down to Assateague. And, I was thinking, probably time to look into that. So I ended up purchasing one of the MicroAir Easy Start Breeze. This is not the Bluetooth module, just the regular soft start. It's electronic soft start. It arrived this week, and we're going to install that today. So one of the things I did in preparation, to make sure that I understood how to do everything. Obviously, there's so many good videos out there already, so we won't go into that. But you can see above me here, I removed the covers from the inside of the air conditioner because I could get up in there and see the sticker, make sure I had the right model type. So I have a Dometic Evolution air conditioner. It's a 15,000 BTU single air conditioner, ducted. And on the website then you can get all the wiring diagrams. So we're going to go up onto the roof and we're going to install the Easy Start. Then we've already mapped out all the wires and the colors that we're going to splice into, which are already pretty well prepped at the end of the Easy Start harness. So I have my terminals. They already came that way from the factory for the orange and the white. We're going to splice in the brown. And then my black wire, I do have to cross over to the other side to get to this blue wire. So I already put an extension on that so I can extend it to the other side of the air conditioning unit. So we're pretty well all set. We're about to get up on the roof. We have all our tools. And then we're going to give this the programming sequence throughout today when it gets hotter. I'm trying to do this now while it's still cool in the morning. And then once everything's programmed by running a few cycles on it in a timed fashion, it should be ready to go and will help us not only save on the startup hard start on that force on the compressor on a regular hookup at a campground, but it'll also let us run on the generator or the pair of Honda generators nice and easily when we're down at the beach. So let's get started. All right, just a quick little fab here in the garage. We have the Easy Start module now securely mounted to the capacitor cover. And what we did there was 2 self-tapping screws right near the corner seam, and then a zip tie that I ran around through 2 drilled holes. Now the back of the Easy Start also has a double-sided adhesive sticker that is joining these 2 parts. And then on the side I drilled with the step drill and put in the grommet so that the wires are protected from the metal edge. Fed them through, and then on the inside I just took a little bit of heat shrink and put it on the ends of those self-tapping screws. Even though they were these tiny short ones here, I just used these little number 10 by 5/8 self-tapping screw. I put a little heat shrink on there because I don't want any wire to get frayed as I'm moving things around or putting things back together. So now that heat shrink's gotten stiff, but it's going to protect it from any sharp points. So there we are. We're ready to take this back up on the roof and wire it all together. All right, a brief update here on how the install went while I'm still on the camper roof. You can see we have our box mounted back. This worked out real nice. Keeps it under the cover, mounted horizontal, and then the extra wire kind of just loops around. Goes in then to that grommet. Now I had to run another wire, like I said, to jump over to the other side. So you go underneath the compressor, come out the other hole. You can tuck it in here with the foam holder. And then I did a strain relief here with a zip tie. But you have to cut that blue wire and splice it with the 3, and I did not have enough. Everything was so tight. So what I ended up having to do was go down over there and loosen up that, because I had extra, you know, as you can see here, it goes down in the control box into the camper. So I had a little extra there, so I was able to loosen that, get about another inch, come back up here, and then I wire tied the 3 together with a wire nut rather than that 3-way push connector that they gave, because that Wago connector just kept coming loose. I just didn't want to risk that. So I'm going to electrical tape that joint as well, and then that's protected by the cover that goes on here. The big foam cover that covers this whole front end will cover those wires. So overall, a few extra trips up and down the ladder, more than I anticipated, but a nice clean install. And when it gets a little hotter here, we will begin the program sequence. Other than that, my roof seals and everything else are looking still pretty good. I redid some of those last fall, and probably have to clean the roof there and clean the solar panel, but pretty easy. All right, back at it here. It's a little bit later in the day, nice and hot outside, getting hot here in the camper as well. You can see over my shoulder there, I put the interior covers back on the air conditioning unit, and they say to cycle the air conditioner 5 cycles so that the Easy Start can learn and adjust, I guess, to the draw, or however, you know, it works. So right now, what we're going to do is we just come over. I have this Dometic thermostat. We're going to put it on low fan and air conditioning, and then we will wait to see it kick on. So there, the fan just kicked on. I don't have it going through the duct, so that's why it sounds loud at the moment. But still warm air. So I think the compressor kicked on. I didn't hear a loud noise, but yep, we're getting cold air. What I'm going to do is we're going to let that run for a minute or two, just because I'm letting it cycle, get that cold air refrigerant started. And then some videos say, you know, turn it off, wait 3 to 5 minutes between cycles. So I made myself a little card here, and we're going to just check it off. And in between those cycles, while we're waiting 3 to 5 minutes, you know, I'll take care of flushing the water heater or flushing the lines, getting things ready for our trip next week. So overall, hey, at least it's working. And we'll see how this really adjusts in a little while. Oh, they also say to have a reliable power source. So right now I'm hooked up to my garage, where I do have a 30 amp RV plug. So I'm not running the generator. I'm doing a reliable power source first to do these initial setup cycles, and then we'll give it a try later. After those cycles are done, we'll get the generator warmed up and see how that lags, or hopefully doesn't lag. All right, check back soon. See ya. And we're going to start it now with eco mode off, and then we'll connect everything, give it a try. Alright, so you can see the green light is on. That is the output. The oil alert is the top red light, which is off. And the overload alarm is in the middle. So let's see if we can zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to go in and we're going to start the air conditioner and see what happens, and you'll be able to hear it as well. Okay, so there was the slight ramp up. I didn't see the light flicker. So that is a Dometic Evolution 15,000 BTU on our Honda 2000. Not bad.